One of the really, truly unsung heroes or groups of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I felt like, was the Turks. I loved what they did with the characterization of each individual Turk in the game. Like, they were ambiguous. You didn't really know what angle they were coming at you from. Like, they're all introduced as villainous, but as the game goes on, you see there's many more layers to the characters. We got Reno, Rude, Sing, Sung, however you want to say it, you know, whichever way you feel more comfortable with. I say Sing. That's how I say it. I really loved the dynamic between Sing and Rufus, and Sing and Reno and Rude. I hope that's something they really explore moving forward. Now, if it's a situation where, you know, we know that time has changed and all that, and the characters outside the anomaly or outside the singularity are going to be changed, I hope they don't change them too much. I really don't. And it also leads credence to what are they going to do moving forward. I hope they make them, push them more in the direction of morally compromised with what Shinra's doing, because I think that plays into with Rufus's plans as well. It plays in with where Rufus goes as a character. He's not totally bad. He does have a change of heart later, we know, but that's all out the door now, right? Because things are changing. But I hope those aspects of those characters stay intact. What do you all think about that? I'm curious to see what you all think about that. Now, as far as like the way the group is personified moving forward, do we still get Elena? I hope so. But do we see other Turks that were developed since Final Fantasy VII's OG drop date back in 97? Do we see Cisne in the game? I think we will, because she's not dead. She's not done and tied up. Or her story's not tied up. She's not dead. I think we'll see her. I don't think she's going to play a super prominent role, but Zack, if he's alive, we're going to see Cisne. They're going to have some kind of like back and forth with each other. So many theories on what could be going on with Zack. I don't want to get into that right now, but with the Turks, I think it's very interesting how they portrayed Sing. Like, he's all business. He's even, you know, threatening to slap Aerith like he slapped Aerith in the original game. I think he did slap her, but I think he's going like that. He's like, I'll slap you again. I think they just didn't want to show it in the game, which I don't agree with. That was a pretty powerful moment in the original game when he slaps her. I didn't like that they left that out. Not that I wanted to see it, but it was very jarring, you know, thematically. Now, there's enough in Remake that's very jarring, and you don't need that. But still, for that character, I felt like they kind of took away from his edge a little bit. And again, not that I advocate that or anything like that, but you all know what I'm saying. It was edited out. I didn't agree with that, but it is what it is. But she did have a bruise on her cheek, right? And a lot of people were like, oh, that's from the ash and stuff, and, you know, the fire and what was going on before she got picked up. And I'm like, nah, I think it's a bruise. I think he smacked her. But anyway, that aside, you see later, we know what Sing becomes. He is just following orders. He's straight up company man. He follows orders. But given Crisis Core's involvement, and Crisis Core is a factor, it's absolutely a factor because you have Zack, right? Given Crisis Core and what it is in the story, I think we have a situation where Sing is leading a double life in this. I did the Sing video, and I talked about that a little bit. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. But what do you all think about that? I'm really curious to see. We haven't talked about Sing a lot here on the channel. He's one of the unsung heroes of the story. I love the character. I loved the way they brought him to life, his characterization in Remake. I thought they did a great job fleshing him out more. So I'm interested to see what they do with him a little bit more now. And I hope they explore him and Aerith's relationship a lot more too. Like, there's going to be a lot more dialogue. There's going to be a lot more like cinematic scenes and fleshing out of the story, fleshing out of the characters. Sing is absolutely one. We need to know more about. We need to see him get more screen time and get to know him more. and B, we have to actually fight him. I think, if I'm recalling correctly, in Final Fantasy VII, the original game, you don't fight Sing, right? There's a bunch of fights with Reno and Rude and them together, but I don't think you actually fight Sing. So that'll be interesting. If I'm wrong about that, correct me, but for some reason, for the life of me, I can't recall fighting Sing. Now, I've played through Final Fantasy VII numerous times. A lot of you have sat with me while I played through it a couple times. I can't remember fighting Sing, so that just seems odd, right? That just seems really odd. It seems very odd to me. But anyway, enough about that. Reno and Rude. I think Reno and Rude were excellent, especially Reno. I thought he was one of the many stars of that game. The vocal performance. Rude was really good. I loved the battle with the two of them on top of the pillar. It was special. It was really special. And, you know, get to do the Turks two-step, and they had all these little things added for them. I thought it was fantastic. And the whole ordeal with them trying to stop the plate collapse and everything, it was well done. And the lead up was good too. The introduction of Reno, and then shortly after that, the introduction of Rude. And then you get to see them after they get their asses handed to them, right? They're resting in the office, they're resting on the couch, you know. I love the line where Sing's talking about the people's collateral damage, like taking energy from the planet, giving back energy to the planet. And Reno is absolutely just kind of disgusted. And then Rude says, "Do you actually believe that?" He's like, "Do you believe that shit that just came out of your mouth?" I loved what they did with the three of them in that scene. And he's like, "Well, let's try another tact here," you know. And I'm a big fan of that stuff. Character moments with characters speaking to each other and getting to know the characters through the way they are and how they talk with other characters who are completely different. That's excellent writing. That's excellent writing. So more of that, please. More of that, please. So given all that, I can't wait to see what they do with the Turks moving forward. I'm open to new Turks being involved, right? I'm open to seeing some new Turks, just like I'm open to seeing some new soldiers. You don't have to give them a whole lot of story time, but just something new and fresh, you know, something, because the world is new again, right? They've reset the world with the singularity, so the world is new again. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with them moving forward. And again, this isn't like a prediction video. This is a kind of video where I want to get you thinking. I'm like, it would be cool if. I would like to see this. I would like to see that. This is not me predicting what they're going to do or trying to do anything like that. This is me just saying, I think it'd be cool if they did this. Get your brains thinking, what do you all think would be cool if they did? I hope we see Elena. I really want to see Elena. Or she could just be a bartender still. I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't know what they're going to do. But I would love to see Elena. Elena's badass. I want to see her. I wouldn't mind seeing Cisne, but limited, because we're going to get a lot of Cisne in Crisis Core Reunion, so we're going to get a lot of her there. So I think you need to give that screen time to another character who's not going to have a lot of it. So I would like to see Elena or a new Turk or something like that. Some of the Turks from before Crisis, that would be cool, if they're still around, you know. So anyway, leave your thoughts on that. I would love to get your all's feedback on that. I got stuff coming all the time. I got another video coming tonight, so sit tight for that. And until then, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, and keep rocking. I'll be on twitch.tv/Ray Coffman tonight, playing Diofield Chronicle again, so be ready. Y'all have a great night. Take care. Peace. Love. I'll catch you all next time. I want to say a quick thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members and supporters. If you would like to support the future creation of content on this channel, get some few extra perks and some art sent to your door every month, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube member. Details and links are in the video description.